We are talking with SBR contributor John Ryan and Scott Kellen from SixCentSports.com previewing Week 4 in the NFL. The next game we're going to talk about is probably one of the most controversial lines of the week. And John Ryan, you were the one who suggested it, so you seem like you might have a lean on this line. I don't know what I think. It's New England and Oakland. Oakland is a 4-point home underdog. It actually opened at 4.5, so the line has moved down a bit. You know, Oakland, of course, off their good win versus the Jets, and New England, they're off of their straight-up loss. Question is, do they avenge last week's loss? I thought this was a line we talked about earlier in the week that was probably going to creep up towards 7. It didn't. It's moved a half point down. What do you like, Brian?
Well, I think everybody is on New England, and the one thing they're forgetting is that right now New England is the worst defense in the NFL. Mm-hmm. They've given up more yards, more points, more rushing yards, more passing yards than any team in the NFL right now. Oakland is, they have a very strong running game, obviously with McFadden, and I'm kind of surprised when this line opened. I was kind of surprised it wasn't 7, as you indicated, but the fact that it's 4 is making me believe that New England's defense is in trouble. Mm-hmm. Now, offsetting this poor defense is obviously Tom Brady and the offense, but they're not able to run the ball that well, and they have to rely on Tom Brady being able to deliver the ball in all sorts of varied different sets and schemes. Oakland has a pretty darn good defense, and they match up well against New England. I'd like to add one more thing, and it has to do with the fact that New England is going to allow 5.5 or more rushing yards per game. I think that's a very reasonable assessment. It is also reasonable to think that New England's going to score 28 or more points against the Oakland defense. So you would think that allowing 5.5 yards rushing to Oakland is going to work against New England, but check this out. New England is 11-2 against the number in road games when they allow 5.5 or more rushing yards per attempt. So what you think would be favoring Oakland with the running game is actually favoring New England in past events. Moreover, Oakland's 1-10 when they give up 28 or more points over the last 3 seasons.
All right. Scott Kellen from SixCentSports.com. What do you make of this line? Is it a complete stay away for you, or do you think there might be small value anywhere?
I'll probably stay away from it, and I got to look at it a little bit more. But right now I've got a pretty solid fundamental rushing situation on Oakland. That's 294, 201, and 23 going back to 1983. Obviously, I would lean that way just based on that, and just making a line in this game. One of the numbers I use actually makes Oakland about a 4.5 point favorite, just using your stats. So, wow. Yeah, so using all that, I would probably lean towards Oakland. Oakland's a tough team for me, and they are Oakland, but at the same time, the team's got a lot of talent, and New England, I think, is overrated. I went against them last week with Buffalo. Yes. I was on them the week before against San Diego. In some ways, maybe got lucky because San Diego kind of self-destructed with turnovers and turning the ball over and downs against New England. And this is a team, New England, who obviously has exited the playoffs in the first game each of the last 2 years. I'm just not sure how good they are. They've got some issues in their secondary. But Oakland's also, got some injuries at the receiver spot. So, but they should be able to run all day against New England. I mean, Oakland can just about run against anybody. I know McFadden was banged up a little bit at the beginning of the week, so I don't know what the status is on him yet. But he's obviously a key part of that. Although Michael Bush is pretty good. Right now, he put a gun to my head. I would probably lean towards Oakland. I also predict about 63 points in this game, which is about what I predicted last week in the Buffalo-New England game. I don't know that I'd go over. The total is so dang high, and I think just bumped up a couple points here in the last couple of days that if anything goes wrong, the game won't go over the total. And Oakland likes to run the ball, which obviously could eat the clock a little bit. So I probably won't go over, but I certainly would not play this game under. Total might be a little too high to actually take the over, but it should be another high-scoring game.
Right. So maybe if you like New England, if you're tempted to take New England on the spread, maybe it'd be better to hedge it a little bit and take them on the team total over instead. That's a great analysis. Yeah, I have a feeling this is going to be still a game where the public's not going to be able to control themselves from betting New England. And I have a feeling I'm going to talk to Doc on Monday, and it's going to be one of those games that was great for the books if Oakland wins and terrible for the books if New England covers.